Now we're going to look at time and temperature measurement conversions. So number one, 100 degrees Celsius is 212 degrees Fahrenheit, and 32 degrees Fahrenheit is 0 degrees Celsius. Now we just looked at temperature conversions as far as how many degrees Celsius compared to how many degrees Fahrenheit, but when you're talking about seconds and minutes, recall that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day. Those types of conversions is what we're going to be looking at when we're doing our time conversions. So let's look at a few of these time conversions, and let's look at some common some uncommon ones. Like a week and days, you may be okay with that one. Seconds and minutes, I think that would be one that we could do. And definitely seconds and hours, because we have a couple jumps there. So let's look at the first one. 240 seconds is how many minutes? So just like we've done previously, I like to start with what we're given. So 240 seconds. We do have a direct conversion of seconds to minutes, and again I put my seconds on the bottom because I want them to cancel. I know that 1 minute is 60 seconds, and so now when I multiply straight across, I'm going to get a unit of minutes, which is what I want, and I'm going to have 240 minutes over 60. And 240 divided by 60 is 4. So 4 minutes would be our final answer. Now let's look at number 5. 7.5 days is how many hours? Again, let's start with what we're given. So 7.5 days over 1. We do have a direct correlation between days and hours. I know that there are 24 hours in one day, and when I multiply, my days cancel, leaving me with hours. So 7.5 times 24 is 180 hours. Number 7 looks like an interesting one, taking seconds to hours. It's a big number. So we have 33,840 seconds. Now we don't really have a direct correlation from seconds to hours, so we're going to go to the minutes in between, because we do have a correlation between seconds and minutes. We know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. And then I can make the final jump of minutes and hours, because I know that there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. The key again to this is getting all of your units to cancel in the way that you want them to cancel, leaving you with the unit that you need, which is hours. So now when I multiply straight across, looks like I have 33,840 times 1 times 1. So 33,840, and I have my units of hours, over 1 times 60, which would be 3,600. And when I divide 33,840 divided by 3,600, I get 9.4 hours. Now let's look at temperature. And when we're converting with temperature, we're not going to use conversion factors. We actually just have formulas for that. So let's look at one of these where we're given Celsius and we have to convert to Fahrenheit, and then we'll do a Fahrenheit to Celsius. So we're just going to pick one. Let's pick 50 degrees So since I need to find Celsius, or no, I'm given Celsius and I need to find Fahrenheit, we have two different formulas we can use, one that has a fraction in it and one that uses the decimal. So I find it easier to use the decimal, so we're going to use Fahrenheit equals 1.8 times our Celsius, which is 50, plus 32. So now I just have to put this in my calculator, 1.8 times 50. Have to do your order of operations. I get 75 plus 32, which is going to give me 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Now let's look at one where we're converting the other direction. I just realized I punched the wrong number into my calculator on that previous calculation. I put in 1.5 instead of 1.8, so that means I got the wrong answer. So actually, it wasn't 75, it was 90. So 90 plus 32 is going to leave me with 122 degrees Fahrenheit. There we go. I noticed it when I went to grab my calculator. Now let's look at converting Celsius or Fahrenheit to Celsius. Again, we have two different formulas. The only difference between the two is one's using the fraction and one is using the decimal. Again, we'll use the one with the decimal. I just find it's easier to work with, especially since we're using the calculator. So let's do number 20. So we're going to do Celsius equals our Fahrenheit of 104 minus 32 over 1.8. 104 minus 32. We have to do order of operations, and this is set up with two different groups. So that's why I'm doing the subtraction first, because the fraction bar is acting like a grouping symbol. So I get 72 over 1.8, which leaves me with 40 degrees Celsius.